From LALATE headquarters in Santa Monica, this is Afternoons LALATE.
It's a big afternoon as major news is released this week, and we have a countdown. Your raise of your benefits just days away. But breaking news, as we're going to get an indication going into the announcement on October 13th of how much your benefits are going to go up, with an inflation read a day earlier, and also even a day before that. Oh, baby. In this recording, we go over the PPI and the CPI being released this week, followed by the retail sales, then followed potentially by the raise in your benefits. It's a big week and a lot of major news. Plus, we have the corporate earnings coming in next week, and we have guidance on what's going to happen with them. Meantime, breaking news on several companies missing and also downward guiding for the whole rest of this year. Everything from General Motors, Rivian, Toast, and Tesla heating up today's news cycle. The bond market is closed because it is Columbus Day. But meantime, we'll be going over the other stories heating up, which is the latest details on the stock market and, of course, all that incredible impact on your stimulus. In today's recording, we go over massive stimulus, massive stimulus. We go over those FSC, federal stimulus checks that are yielding massive amounts of money, $300,000 to viewers of this channel. You heard me right, $300,000 over 300 checks. Stay the second half as we go over these FSCs. Then we go over to inflation relief stimulus checks. And these are automatic, and those heat up in the second half, ISCs. And then, of course, you know what's happening this week, a lifetime stimulus. October 13th, just days away, then we'll learn how much your benefits go up. Not just this year, but lifetime. The big news all at issue. Meantime, all this month, all last month, and all the month before, so one major industry was about to collapse. And which industry was it? Today we learn it has collapsed. Today we learn that their inventory is building up. Today we learn that they're posting their worst numbers in many, many years. Which industry is it? Jump in the live chat and see if you can predict it. It's not housing, so I'll give you a teaser on that one. It's falling apart very quickly. In fact, we spoke about it again yesterday. The announcement came in today. Meantime, stay in the big second half and become a member because we have massive stimulus for you in today's recording. From the shores of Santa Monica, California, all the breaking news starts right here, right now, on a big, bold, beautiful day to start the week of afternoons. And good afternoon, everybody. You know what it is. It's the week that has the announcement of the benefit raises. Massive week across the board. In this week, we go over the PPI, the CPI, the lifetime of stimulus, the retail sales, and also those corporate earnings. Meantime, the latest impact on what we learned with those labor numbers on Friday. Moreover, guidance from the Federal Reserve as the Fed governors are supposed to speak a little bit more to us. It's a big week with massive amounts of money. We go over all those incredible checks. You promise me this. You will stay the big second half as we go over all those incredible checks, one at a time, later in the second half of this recording. It's your economy. It's your recession. It's your inflation, your benefit raise, your forced stimulus, all that and more as the breaking news starts right here, right now, on a special holidays edition of LALATE. Oh, you know, I'm just eating the grapes, and they're just deliciousness. In today's recording, we'll also have a special edition of Holidays LA in the second half, where I will not be eating the wax grapefruit, but the grapefruit, but I will be going over how to decorate your home for the holiday season. That's coming up also in the big second half. Let's go right into the breaking news right now. Earnings recession, major companies giving earnings problems right today. General Motors downgraded by UBS, cutting General Motors from neutral, downgrading to neutral from buy, and then also cutting Ford from a neutral to a sell. Baby, you know what a sell means? It means get rid of the stock. Rivian, meantime, the electric auto manufacturer, is recalling all its vehicles. Oh boy, it's only Monday, is it? Recalling all their vehicles for a potential stewing problem. The stock is down 9%. Toast. The toast is toast and the butter is butter. No, the toast is doing really well. Toast, the company that has technology for restaurants, is up a lot, 3.3 in pre-market trading when it got a buy from a neutral, an upgrade from one of the major analysts who tracks it. Tesla delivered 83,000 more vehicles than expected from a Shanghai factory, but that stock has been under pressure. That stock is nearly at its 2-year low. Well, definitely at the 52-week low. It's a little bit going out there as well, having problems left and right. And there you go. Those are the companies who start the day with us. The reason why you got to get this stimulus is where we're heading. And where we're heading. Two major reports released minutes ago. 22% of millennials, which are people under 41 years of age, and 19% of Gen Zers, who are people 25 years of age, believe that they have too much debt they cannot afford. So it's 22% of millennials and 19% of Gen Zers say that they have gone into too much debt and they can't control it, says a new report from Lending Tree. This is a September survey. Meantime, what about older people? Older people across the entire spectrum of all Americans of all ages, 32% now say they're behind on their bills, and 40% say they cannot actually pay their bills. Wow. This is a new report from also Lending Tree. They say 32% of Americans are 6 months past due on bills. So it's not just a few days, 6 months past due. And 61% of them is because they don't have the money to cover the bills. Whoa. Then we have 40% saying they are unable to afford their bills compared to a year ago because of the situation of the U.S. economy. Finally, stocks continue to just crumble. Stocks are down because of U.S. changes of export policies with semiconductors today. The Dow Jones was initially up, but then it's reversing course left and right. Here's the major news I want you to watch with me. And I saw this and I sort of froze for a second because I have in my notes, and we've been covering all a while on this channel, October 13th is the announcement of the raise of your benefits, remember? October 13th is the announcement of the COLA raise or your benefits. That's coming up in a second, that lifetime of stimulus. Also, October 13th, which we've covered a long time, has been the announcement of the CPI-W for the month of September. Well, maybe it's not. What's going on here? A new report says that Wednesday, which today is 11, 12. I'm doing math quickly on camera. Wednesday will be the producer price index released first. It's usually released second. And then Thursday will be the CPI. Thursday will be the CPI after the PPI. And then the retail sales will be released on Friday. So wait, let's count that out again. So wait a second. That's a lot to digest on a Monday. So Tuesday we have nothing, which is the 11th. 12th of October we have the producer price index. Wednesday, the 13th, we have the CPI-W. So that was right. That CPI, no. Let's do that again. Today is the 10th, tomorrow is the 11th, the day after that is the 12th, which is Wednesday, Thursday is the 13th. Yes, that's correct. So Thursday the 13th is going to be the CPI-W, exactly what we had reported on the show for months. But here's what's strange is that the PPI is being released before the CPI. Well, I like that. Why do I like that? It's going to give us indication what that CPI is going to say the next day and the raise of your benefits the next day. Yes, that was what I was getting to. So on Wednesday, we will have the producer price index that gauges inflation, and it's the sister and the brother to the CPI. It usually comes a day after the CPI, but this week it's going to come before the CPI. And on Thursday, the 13th, we will have the CPI-W for the month of September, and then we'll also have your COLA raise. Friday will be anticlimactic because on Friday we'll have the retail sales numbers. We have next week the announcement from Wells Fargo, Morgan Stanley, and Citibank reporting corporate earnings, and PepsiCo, Delta, and Domino's will be the week after. Or if I read that wrongly, let me say that again. The PepsiCo, Delta, and Domino's are next week. Wells Fargo, Morgan Stanley, and Citibank are this Friday, not the following Friday. So there you go. Wow. That's why you have to get a fourth stimulus check in every US day. My Lord. These incredible stimulus checks are just huge, and you are doing an incredible job with them. The first checks are FSCs, federal stimulus checks, FSC. They come from the federal government, paid by the Congress, paid by the United States government, paid by the president. They are FSCs. They are nearly 300 checks of $300,000. They're coming up in the big second half. Promise me this, you will stay the big second half as I go over all these incredible checks and how for you to get those checks. Then inflation relief stimulus checks. These are coming from your states. These are great. These are automatic individual checks. Then we have LSC, lifetime stimulus checks. These are the raise your benefits. These are the big raise your benefits because when your benefits go up, they never go down. They're going up a lot. You already know that. You've been tracking this so well. So let's jump right into those FSCs first to get an overview of them before we go into the detail of those FSCs in the big second half. The grapes are actually on my hand, so I need to move them out of the way. FSC, grapes move out of the way. We are not stomping grapes on the set. This is not I Love Lucy. So let's go over those FSC checks. Individuals, 75,000 less. Married couple, 150,000 less. With children, without children, on benefits, go get them. It's about $100,000. Wow. $100,000. Passed by the President of the United States, the first 3 checks in the month of March. And we gave them the name A, B, and C. Checks A, B, and C. Viewers have been getting them ever since. If you just found this channel, welcome, because I'm going to show you how to get these incredible checks, A, B, and C, in just a second. Then came along Congress, and Congress passed a bill, and that bill established more checks. Those other checks became law, checks E through K, massive checks. And that brought us to then hundreds of checks. Then I found you other checks, L and M, N and O, P and Q. They're all in the membership newsletter. That's where you get these incredible checks. So what do? You go on this video, you join this channel. You join this channel, become a member, Purple Hawk, Purple Power Casino VIP. It's hundreds of joining every 48 hours, as this is one of the most successful YouTube channels of the last 2 years. It's also the channel that has gotten the most money for Americans as a broadcasting channel in the United States. Over $50 million have been gotten by viewers of LALATE in the last 2 years. Go on in this video, become a member, Purple Hawk, Purple Power Casino VIP. Then in the big second half, we're going to go over all those incredible checks. And then we'll go over to ISC checks and also over to those LSC checks, lifetime stimulus checks. So there you go. The other reason you want to get this stimulus is the other breaking news happening today. iPad sales could return to pre-pandemic levels next year, says Bank of America. Bank of America believes that iPad demands are likely, you could likely see declines for 2020 and 2023, and then they will go the other direction. Although the device continues to track a high proportion of new users, replacement rates remain muted. We see the function of category being in structural decline. So not good news. The iPad is not drawing in consumers to Apple at all. And so Bank of America is seeing massive decline on that product for this year and next year. But they see it rebounding in 2024 because they believe that's the new cycle for an upgrade at that point. Early in this recording, I asked you, which industry do you believe is falling apart very quickly? And it's an industry that I told you was going to fall apart. Here's the answer. Auto. I've been detailing this for a long time, since at least July, when we saw those interest rate spikes coming in very severely by Jay Powell. And at the time in July, I said Jay Powell's going to raise rates for the whole rest of this year. Well, I undervalued it while Wall Street was really not even considering it. Wall Street is saying one more interest rate spike in September. They got it wrong. I said by the end of the year. Well, I didn't do it big enough because Jay Powell's doing interest rate spikes till 2024. What does this mean for auto? You go to buy the car, you're going to buy the car in debt. You go to buy the car in debt, the rate of that car loan is a lot more expensive than it ever has been. And so less people are going to be able to afford a car because they cannot afford the car loan. If you're paying cash, if you're one of those cash buyers, you don't have as much cash on hand because the situation of this U.S. economy. You're not going to be able to sell the stocks or sell the crypto to buy a car because things are not, valuations are down. So I said the auto manufacturers have not pivoted. What does that mean? They have not understood to reduce the price of the car. They have not understood to to decrease the add-ons to the cars by stop ballooning the price of the cars. They have not understood that they have too many high-level cars and not enough entry-level price cars, and they're going to lose their shirts. And today we learned they're losing their shirts. We started this recording with GM and Ford down, but here we go over to used car sales. Used car vehicle sales are seeing the first annual decline in nearly 2 years. This was exactly what I predicted for you. And the reason is inflation. Prices in September used car sales fell 0.1% according to Mannheim Used Car Value Index released today. This is the first negative reading since May of 2020. In the summer of 2021, used car prices had risen at 10% a month. Now the direction is the other way. And where do I believe this is ending? Not good. I absolutely think the auto industry is going to collapse like a tsunami because I still don't think they've pivoted enough. And this could hurt you if you're not buying a car. If you're in a town that's dependent upon the auto industry because you have a lot of dealerships, maybe you have a factory, maybe you have a component part, maybe you have a lot of employees in your town that are employed by something that has to do with auto, they are going to be big trouble because the auto industry is going to collapse. And when auto collapses, it doesn't come back quickly. It doesn't come back quickly at all. And with a universe in which the U.S. auto manufacturers are touting the wonders of brand new entry-level $75,000 electric vehicles, they have not pivoted quick enough, and their narrative is locked in, and the narrative is going to crash and burn because no one is going to be buying an entry-level $75,000 electric vehicle in a recession. It's not going to happen. So that, my friends, is another reason you want to get this incredible stimulus because with a major industry in America, major industry, auto, about to be in the cusp of collapsing after housing has already collapsed, what could be next? It's a lot of trouble. It's a lot of trouble on the horizon. And with that, let's go right into some incredible stimulus checks right now. Those first 3 checks, again, are checks A, B, and C. Let's get some stimulus right now. The first 3 checks were passed by the President of the United States, A, B, and C. Single individual, $75,000, let's go get it. Married couple, $150,000, let's go get it. How do you get them? You go on this video, you become a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Casino VIP. Then you get that incredible newsletter Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Go down in the newsletter to apply for those incredible checks. But we're not going to wait on those checks. We're going to go over the first 3 checks right now before the commercial break. After the commercial break, we'll go over the remainder of the checks. Let's look at those first 3 checks right now. The first check is check A. This is the wonderful check that Spelly got, $6,500 to $12,000. Single individual, $75,000, let's go get it. Married couple, $150,000, let's go get it. If you rent, if you own, if you're on benefits, go get it as well. How do you get this wonderful check? Step 1, you go in this video, you join the channel. Join LALATE. Join LALATE 1, LALATE 2, or LALATE 3. Become a member, Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Casino VIP. Get that incredible newsletter delivered from me to you Monday through Friday. 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 10 o'clock Eastern, and 9 o'clock Central, via the YouTube alerts. Go down the membership newsletter if you see check A, click the link and go right and apply. But you're not done there yet, you're going to go get check B. Check B is just incredible. It falls right after check A, and it is right here. Check B, $15,000 to $80,000, a forced stimulus check in every U.S. state. Single individual, $75,000 less, go get it. Married couple, $150,000 less, go get it. Let's look at one of the success stories. Frank Mancuso. He joined this channel, and for just a few dollars to become a member to this channel, look what he walked away with in less than 1 month. In less than 30 days, with just spending a few dollars and becoming a member, he got 18 months of mortgage, 18 months of utilities, 18 months of high-speed internet. The success stories do not stop there. We had another viewer out of Florida getting a whopping $100,000 of 80 to 100 checks of check B. And that is why people are becoming members to this channel. The membership of this channel is taking off once again, with 100 new members joining every 48 hours. If you're watching the video and you're not a member, you need to become a member right now. Join this channel. And for just a few dollars, you will get the newsletter that'll give you the guidance on how to get all these incredible, massive, massive checks. And we're not done there yet because we're only on check B. Let's now go to check C. Check C is for rent, utilities, mortgage assistance, and more. Become a member. Go right down the newsletter to find Check C. Don't forget to subscribe as well to this channel and subscribe to the other 2 channels of this broadcasting family. Go down to Check C and it tells you who to call, what to say, and how to say it. This is for rent, utilities, mortgage, assistance, more. One thing I want you to promise me, when you get to Check C, it's going to tell you 12 places to reach out to. 12 places to reach out to for a possible 18 months of checks, which is what it's averaging right now for viewers, and about 5 checks per month, your utilities and your rent, your mortgage. But promise me this, you'll reach out to all 12 places. Why? Because you will have a rejection rate. You'll have about a 50% rejection rate. That's what Johnny did. He started on Monday. By Friday, he had $80,000, but he also had a 50% rejection rate. He got 15 applications and he got 8 approved. That's how you do it. So promise me you will reach out to all 12 places for the incredible Check C. Now, that is FSC's checks A, B, and C, but we're just getting started. In the big second half, we're going to go over the continuation of these FSCs that bring you to $300,000 and nearly 300 checks. Then we go over to inflation relief stimulus checks, ISCs. Then after that, we go over to lifetime stimulus checks. The raise of your benefits, because once your benefits go up, they never go down. Here's 2 questions for you to jump in the live chat right now. I want you to answer them, and we'll go over your answers in the big second half. On October 13th, when that CPI-W is released for the month of September, where do you put that CPI-W number at? Write the number, comma, your state in the live chat. Number 2, where do you believe the COLA raise will be when it's announced on October 13th? Write the number in the live chat, comma, your state right now. Meantime, the fascinating part of the equation right now is what J-POW can do and what J-POW cannot do. Last year, in spring of 2021, I was the first American broadcaster to report the U.S. economy would have 8% inflation and not go away. That was spring of 2021. In the first month of this year, I said that J-POW is not going to get it done. He's going to raise interest rates, but he's not going to solve inflation. Why? Because inflation, when caused by supply chain disruption, inability to get the products from the manufacturer to you, from the farm to you, is not fixed by raising interest rates. Pretty obvious, right? And the other element is gasoline. When gasoline going higher causes inflation, raising interest rates does not solve the problem of gasoline. And the problem of gasoline got worse last week as the OPEC Plus countries, Saudi Arabia and company, cut production gasoline by 2 million barrels a day to cause more inflation for the U.S. economy. Some people would criticize. Well, can J-POW do anything to fix that? No, he can't. Raising interest rates does not solve lack of gasoline production in OPEC Plus countries. And yet, less gasoline, more inflation. So what can J-POW really fix by raising interest rates? Very little. I've been saying this since February. Now more analysts are saying that as well. In fact, the United Nations Secretary General issued a statement about this last week, saying that raising interest rates does not solve most parts of inflation. You need to really fix the supply chain disruption. I agree. So let's jump in the live chat right now. I got a series of questions for you. I'm going to ask the question. You say yes or no. The question is always the same item, the same question. Will J-POW get it fixed by raising interest rates? Answer yes or no. And I'm going to go one item at a time. First, here's the warm-up because I just had these questions for you answered. Will raising interest rates, fix the rising inflation for gasoline? Answer yes or no. Obviously, the answer is no. We just went over that. Here's another question. Will raising interest rates fix supply chain disruption? Answer yes or no. If you said no, you're correct. It will not fix supply chain disruption. Let's go to a more complicated question. Will raising interest rates solve price inflation in housing? This is home sales and new home construction. We're not talking about rental. We're talking about the purchasing of homes. It will, because as J-POW raises rates, mortgage rates go up and homes will not be affordable to buy. Here's a more complicated question. Will raising interest rates cause less inflation, solve inflation, or cause more inflation in the rental market? That's a complicated question. Here's my analysis situation. If you raise interest rates, then suddenly a renter will not be able to go buy a home and they'll have to continue to rent. that means more people will be renting and less people buying homes. If more people are renting, what does the landlord do? Yeah, raises the price of the rental unit because they have full occupancy. So raising interest rates at the Federal Reserve actually, in my opinion, causes more rental inflation than reduces the rental inflation. And then finally, the big question. Does raising the price of, does raising the interest rate to solve inflation work when doing it with soda? I know what you're going to say, Elijah. It hasn't worked yet, Ally. That soda's out of control. I've never seen such price inflation for that soda. You're right. But ultimately, it should work. Ultimately, it should work. Raising interest rates at the Federal Reserve should get the price of soda down. But the moment it's popping, at the moment it's popping. In the big second half, we are going to go over the continuation of these FSCs, the continuation of these inflation relief stimulus checks, and the continuation of these lifetime stimulus checks. We got a lot of money to go over in the big second half. Plus, we'll be going over to Holidays LA. Yes, it's a special edition of Holidays LA on afternoons, and we'll go over everything you need to know with how to decorate that house during this holiday season. The big week that is just getting underway. And I'll see you back in 60 seconds as more of the incredible, exciting news for a big holidays edition of Afternoons LA continues. And the excitement continues in a big second half from the shores of Santa Monica, California, as we continuation on these incredible checks across the board. Wow, what a great day it is. Lifetime stimulus checks, high inflation stimulus checks, and also your FSCs. How are you? In this big second half, we continue with those FSC, federal relief stimulus checks, huge. And what's important to understand is you need to get them right now. I mean, you can't play games right now with this, folks. You cannot be playing games. If you have been watching this channel, you need to get them. You need to go in this video, join the channel, become a member. You need to go down the membership newsletter, go get it. And you need to get these checks right now. You can't be playing games because Americans are now saying they can't pay their bills. They're going to be here with that stimulus stampede. A lot of tough love with you right now. Get these checks right this minute. Become a member, and let's go over the continuation of these incredible FSCs. The next checks were passed by Congress, and they're absolutely huge. Those incredible checks are great. E, $7,500, a wonderful brand new car. F, $4,000. G, great money there. That is 30% off. H, $2,000. I, $8,000. J, $8,000. And check K, $14,000. Those incredible checks for FSCs continue thereafter. Check L, $100,000 on the average of loan interest-free money. Check M, $4,000 of grant money. Just incredible. Then we go over to check N. My favorite check. I love it. Check N is zero internet. Did I say that wrong? Free internet. Zero internet sounds like there's no internet connection. Free internet. It also comes with a brand new computer, a brand new laptop, a brand new tablet. Wow. Tablets being less than $100 generally across the board, so you can get a great new tablet for this. This is Stimulus N. Again, all in the membership newsletter. Then we go to Stimulus O. Zero down payment, zero closing costs, and then we go to zero credit score and zero insurance required to get it. Huge. Next up is the great Stimulus P and Stimulus Q. Stimulus P is 3% down, and that is even for existing home refi. And then Stimulus Q, $8,000 in closing costs. Just incredible. Just incredible. So let's recap those FSCs. Those FSCs are just huge. Largest federal stimulus check, $100,000. Smallest, $8,000. We got a stimulus FSC for nearly everything. We have it for brand new appliances around the home, a brand new washer, a brand new dryer, a brand new refrigerator. We got stimulus for home repairs. We got stimulus for car. We got stimulus for rent and utilities and mortgage. We got stimulus for almost everything. Largest check, 100,000, smallest, 8,000. Fastest rally time, about 2 days. Johnny getting about $45,000 in less than 48 hours. Started on Monday, got $45,000 by Wednesday. And the success stories continue to come on in. Lynn Glenn getting 12 months of utilities. Great job, Lynn. 12 months of utilities. Another viewer as well getting 12 months of utilities. 2 viewers getting 14 months of rent. Then we go over to other checks. And those other checks are just huge. Dragon getting $170,000 from this channel. Johnny getting $250,000 plus dollars from this channel for him and about 20 friends and family. He got $80,000 for himself. He got $50,000 for each parent. We have Mark, $166,000, Lorraine, $150,000. And then we have just days ago, Deborah getting $16,000. Viewers on a regular basis are coming in with $16,000, $18,000, $20,000, $40,000. It's your opportunity to get these big sums of money right now. Go under this video, become a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Casino VIP. Next, let's go to those inflation relief stimulus checks. ISC, inflation relief stimulus checks. They're great. Where did these come from? These come from your states. They're paid by your states, these inflation relief stimulus checks, ISCs. How do you learn about them? You go down the membership newsletter. You find Check D in the membership newsletter. Click the link. It opens up a brand new page in the newsletter. It shows you the respective states. Go to your state, then look to the item at issue. It'll tell you the state, then the amount it's paying out, and it'll actually have a link to go right into apply at your state level. Just really huge across the board. All the details for Check Incredible ISC is at Check D in the membership newsletter, which then tees us up to lifetime stimulus. Lifetime stimulus, getting really exciting. Why do we call it a lifetime stimulus? Because once your benefits go up, they never go down. These incredible lifetime stimulus checks heat up in just days from now when we learn that Purple Power, the latest details on the CPI-W for the month of September, when we learn about the COLA for the entire year. And that comes in on Wednesday. Yeah, some of you are going to see thousands of dollars more at issue. Some of you 5,000, some of you less, some of you more. Because once your benefits go up, they never go down. At issue is the incredible CPI-W. CPI-W for the month of September will be released on October 13th, which is Thursday. And that CPI-W for the month of September, where do you put it at? Jump in the live chat right now. Write that number, comma your state. Viewers have really tracked it well. They've been putting it about a 9.1, 9.2, 9.3, comma their state. CPI-W in the month of July, 8.7. In the month of August, 8.9. And then in the month of September, came in at a 9. In the month of September, came in at a fill in the blank. Viewers are saying 9.1, 9.2, and 9.3. Where do I think it's going to come in at? 9.1. I think viewers really have it at the money. Why? Because gasoline went higher in the second half of September. Gasoline went higher in the second half of September. It started to track higher after it had fallen in the month of July and August. So that basically tees up the question, what will happen with that COLA raise? Harder analysis with that one. The seniors league had said 10% raise back in July when the CPI-W was only 8.7. But as the CPI-W went higher and higher, I said back in July, 11%. Now as it's gone higher, am I revising? I'm not. I thought I was high on that COLA raise back in July at 11%. Now I think I'm a little bit undervaluated. But what are the viewers saying? What do you think? Jump in the live chat tonight now. For purpose of that COLA raise, viewers are now saying 11, 12, 13, 14% raise. Wow. It's a hard one to predict. It's a really hard one to predict. Now, next year, there's going to be inflation, so whatever the raise of your benefits this year, you're going to get another raise on top of this the year after that. And the year after that, there'll also be inflation. So where do I think this is really going to land, and how do we get a better insight of this in the next 48 hours? The PPI. The PPI, the Producer Price Index, is usually released the day after the CPI. And the fact that it's being released on Wednesday the 12th before the CPI-W on the 13th means that we will have a very good insight as to where that CPI-W will be on the 13th. Here's an example. Let's say the PPI for, I'm just choosing a number. Let's just say the PPI for the month of August was a 5, and that for the month of September, we learn this Wednesday, when the September PPI is released, that it went from a 5 in August to a 5.2 in September. That's looking really good for that CPI-W for the month of August going higher, for the month of September going higher. That's looking really good. If the PPI falls in Wednesday's data for the PPI for September, if the PPI for September fell compared to the month of August, and we see that in Wednesday's number, then we may be completely wrong on our CPI-W predictions. We may be completely wrong with that across the board. Now, here's what's important to remember. The PPI is slightly different than the CPI, and that gasoline is a more core component of the CPI than the PPI. So I want to make this clear because it's a little bit complicated. So while they're sisters and brothers, they're different items that make up the PPI than the CPI. What is the PPI? It's how much the wholesaler pays. The CPI is what you pay as the consumer. So it's what you pay for gasoline at the pump. It's literally what you're paying for gasoline at the pump. The PPI does not have that part of the equation. So the fact that the gasoline went up in September will correlate directly into the CPI on Thursday, but not necessarily into the PPI on Wednesday. So takeaway, is the PPI really good guidance on what the CPI was going to say on Thursday? I got to tell you, this is my analysis. If the PPI is higher for September compared to the month of August, then you absolutely know the CPI is going to be higher for the month of September compared to the month of August. You absolutely know that. But if the PPI is lower for September compared to the month of August, it doesn't mean the CPI is going to fall as well. It really doesn't mean that at all, because the CPI has the gas component across the board for that. So let's jump back into that analysis. Where do we see this going? I really do think that you're going to have this right. I think that the viewers of this channel have gotten it right. I believe that CPI-W will be about a 9.192 on Thursday. I think 9.3 is low, and I think anything in the 8 is I think 9.3 is too high, and anything in the 8s is too low. And then what about that COLA raise? I think viewers that have it around 11, 12, 13%, they could all be right. I think a COLA raise of 7 or 8 or 9 would shock us. I think that would be much lower than any of us expected. And I think a COLA raise of 15% would be on the high end. I just think that would be really high. There are a lot of viewers that have been predicting the COLA to go to 13%. That would not surprise me. I'm not surprised at all across the board with that. And with that, let's go into some fun now that we've gotten through all that myriad of dates and elements with some holiday decor. I think one of the grapes just the grape of the wrath just shed its wrath on me. I think one of the grapes just fell off. How to decorate the holiday decor. You know, it's that holiday season. Oh, here, it would have gone right here. Here's the holiday season. And one of the great ways to decorate the home is a way that's less obtrusive and less work for you. And it's basically keeping it that sort of all natural, that sort of soft winter, fall, breezy colors, the beiges, the golds, the muted reds, as we have with the grapes here. Imagine how great these grapes work. They fit a Halloween motif. They fit a Thanksgiving motif and you could really almost keep it out to Christmas, because what is a beautiful strand of grapes with a green leaf at the top, basically. It says it's a festive holiday fall season. One of the items I featured a lot on this channel actually used to be in the background, the center, acorns. I mean, what else says the fall than a beautiful acorn? Acorns are great. We've done them all different ways on this channel over the last 2 years. We've done them natural, like here. We've done them sprayed. You can take that gold paint and spray it. You can take the silver metallic paint. If you're going to spray it, make sure it is done outside, because it's going to go everywhere. And make sure you really go with an opposite color. So if you do want to spray paint it, make sure you go with a gold or something that has a really good metallic shine, because acorns are flat. So you don't want to go with a flat color. You want to go with a high gloss, shiny opposite item across the board. The bigger the acorn, the better. I like them large. And the time and place to get that acorn is just sort of sporadic. So if you see those acorns, you grab them, you don't wait, because the opportunity may be leaving you because the season changes so quickly. So when they fall, grab them and do not wait across the board. And here we go. It's that season where the gourds and all those little mini pumpkins are everywhere. Here is an actual little ornament. This is something you sort of stick into something. Of course, it's not a real pumpkin. But these type of things are great because you can use it for Halloween. You can use it for Thanksgiving. And if you kept it on a festive Christmas table, no one's going to say no one's going to disparage you because, hey, it's just sort of festive to the season. Imagine with the backdrop that we have here on the set right now, and you see this backdrop where we have these reds and we have these yellows and these muted colors. Imagine if we sort of just put this with it. It's not any more different than what's expected across the board. That's why don't work yourself too hard. Make the transition of the holiday season decor from Halloween to Thanksgiving to Christmas sort of effortless, so that you really don't have to modify or take out too much to change the motif. A lot of people always think that the holiday season has to be green and red, green and red. You just have to keep it in the spirit of the seasons, even if it's palm tree weather outside. Coming up next is Evenings LALATE. It's at 5 o'clock tonight. We have a big show across the board. And that Evenings LALATE was going to go over what's happening with that Federal Reserve and whether the Federal Reserve is really getting it wrong or getting it right. A new report out today says the Federal Reserve will not pivot. We've known that for a while, but will the earnings results impact them? No, I don't believe that will at all. We're going to go over what to expect with that CPI. Will the CPI beat once again? Will the PPI beat once again? And will the retail sales beat once again? These, of course, are data points from the month of July. What's at issue is that if they continue to beat, then why has Jay Powell really not gotten this right? I'll analyze his inability to get this right, plus we'll be jumping more into that incredible stimulus. Remember, how do you get this incredible stimulus? You go under this video, become a member, Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Calstino VIP. Then you make sure you always watch the second half of the videos where we go over all the incredible sums of money. You go into the newsletter, delivered from me to you Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. You go down in the newsletter to apply for those incredible checks. You follow exactly the way the LA newsletter says it, and you get those great sums of money. We got a lot coming up today. We're just getting started. From the shores of Santa Monica, California, God bless. Stay informed, stay focused, keep on pouncing, keep on getting all those incredible sums of money that are yours to get, because remember, a stimulus stampede is either underway or just around the corner. Stay informed, stay focused, and stay with LA for more.